Hey everyone, so we are back with another Money Matters Monday, and I have my second guest, Nico Garcia. And I've known Nico, it's crazy to say, but I've known Nico for over 10 years now. Nico and I played soccer together at Stevenson University here in Maryland. We both still reside here in Maryland. But I have followed Nico's journey since then, and I was just telling him before we jumped on record, like he is in real estate, he is in investing, he owns a business with his brother. Like Nico has his hands in a ton of different places. And I was like, I need to talk to Nico. And I wanted to bring him for one of these sessions because I soon would like to have multiple revenue streams. And I was like, who better than to talk to Nico about that? So with that, Nico, I'll pass it over to you to do like a proper introduction of yourself, who you are, what you do, and kind of let you take it from there. Tell us everything you're doing. Give us some advice for someone who wants to get into multiple revenue streams. Yeah, I'll pass it over to you, Nico.
Thank you, Contino. And it's crazy, 10 years. Well, I guess it's been 10 plus years that we've known each other. Yeah, we played soccer together at Stevenson University. Feels like so long ago, but it was honestly some of the best times of my life. So so thank you, Contino, for having me on, man. My name is Nico Garcia. I am a licensed real estate agent with Century 21 Redwood Realty. I am also an investor, a newbie investor. And then I am also co-owners with my brother for a mobile car detailing business. So kind of got my hands in a few different things. So I've been a licensed real estate agent for almost 4 years now. I started right before the pandemic, which was a very interesting time to start.
Yeah.
I got licensed in late 2019 and got fully, with a brokerage early 2020, right before the pandemic. So it was a crazy time to start. For those of you that, were keeping up with the housing market back then, interest rates were historically low during that time, which fed into a crazy, crazy market where, homes were going 10,000, 20,000, sometimes 100,000 over asking price, just because so many buyers out there in the pool. Myself as a millennial, Contino, we were all looking to buy homes. So the demand was really there. And a lot of people were qualifying with, 3%, sometimes 2.5% interest rates. So as a newer agent, I was mostly working with buyers. It was very eye-opening to the world of real estate, because you're going against 10, sometimes 20 other offers. You have to try and figure out what you can do to make your offer more appealing to help your clients win their home. With that being said, I've rode the roller coaster of real estate from where it was in 2020 to, where it is now in terms of, 7.5%, 8% interest rate, depending on where you go, which is, I see your face and that's most people's face. But believe it or not, if you go historically, interest rates usually were around 5 to 7% in terms of where they're at historically. So that time where I started was literally, I talked to my dad who's been in real estate for 50 plus years. He said it's never been that low. So it was such a we call it like unicorn years, because it was just, the pandemic, they were trying to, fluctuate things. And anyway, so now we're at 7.5%, but there's not enough homes for sale. So I was talking to Contino earlier about where the housing market is now, and there's just not enough homes. And one of the main reasons why is because the construction slowed during the pandemic. Getting permits was like really, really hard. So the amount of homes being built really fell, and it didn't match the demand. So that was one of the reasons why we're still in a shortage now. And then the second one is people that bought their home in 2020, like yourself and many of other people, got such low interest rates that, or they refinanced their homes, meaning they had a higher rate. They refinanced to the 3, sometimes 2.5%, and locked themselves into lower monthly payments. And that was what's called the rate lock effect. So people that, have that rate don't want to buy a new home at 7.5%, 8%. interest rates. So that's causing another shortage of homes. So that brings us to where we're at today. You know, yes, interest rates are high, but the demand is still there. People like myself, like Contino, are millennials looking to buy their first homes. So we're still looking to buy, but affordability has been a big challenge in terms of getting these homes. So that is what's going on in the housing market. I this earlier this year, my brother and I bought a investment property. So I've been getting really into investing in real estate. It's one of the things that my dad has been trying to get me to look into for quite some time. But anyway, we pulled the trigger. We found a really good deal. It needed some work, but we got it fixed up, got it rented out, and then 2 months ago, we bought another home, fix and flip, that we're working on, that actually just went active last week. So I'm getting really immersed in the investing side. Just want to continue buying properties to rent them out and build my rental portfolio. And then our third our third revenue stream is the mobile car detailing business, which my brother really takes head on. You know, we will come to your house, clean your car, and at the convenience of your home. So a lot of people like that. I know I personally don't like cleaning cars, and you know, that's definitely another business that's been really growing. So I guess we've been in business a little over 5 years now for that. And we're based out of Beltsville, Maryland, but we work all over the DMV. So that's a long story of what's going on. So I appreciate you letting me know.
Yeah, I was like, as I hear you talk through all of that, I thought the detailing business was the longest growing one. So with that, like everything that you just talked about, so knowing that the demand is still there for millennials to buy homes, like you're buying investment properties, like what is your advice? Because I was fortunate. We talked about this. I was fortunate when I bought my home. I got a low interest rate. I locked in at 3%. So what is your piece of advice for those that are now getting into the market, that are looking for a home, and they see that interest rate? Like, what is your advice as their real estate agent, as their partner in this process? Like, what are you telling them? Like, how are you working through that with them? Like, what is your piece of advice if someone is just getting into the market and has to deal with this now?
Yeah, Contino, that's a great question, because I would think the first thing you need to do is look within at your own finances. You really want to know what's coming in, what's going out in terms of your expenses, and really, you know, budget correctly. You want to start saving money. You want to have a game plan of how you can get to, you know, down payments, closing costs. You know, as a first-time home buyer, there are other costs associated with actually buying a house. I know I personally didn't know that. I'm sure you probably didn't know until you spoke to a realtor of all the costs that you know, are associated with it. So definitely lean on a real estate agent. And secondly, you want to get, you know, pre-approved for a loan. You want to speak to a lender. They can kind of guide you on building your credit if your credit isn't there. They can, you know, give you advice on how you can structure getting your money saved and get you ready for when you are ready to buy a home. You know, you have everything ready, so you know, you don't have to wait, because nowadays homes are going really quick, and you want to make sure you're fully prepared when the time comes. So, you know, if you ever have any questions about, you know, the real estate side on either, you know, buying your first home, or if you're looking into, you know, investing and buying a second or third home to rent out, or a vacation home, you know, short-term rentals like Airbnbs have become very popular now in today's market. So if you have any questions about that, I'm also part of a real estate investing mastermind. We meet in Montgomery County every month, and we talk about different topics on real estate investing. So whether it's, you know, creative strategies, which is extremely vital in today's market, or, you know, just multifamilies, just if you have any questions about that, I'm your guy. So I can go on for another hour, Contino. So you know, let me know if you have any other questions.
No, I think that was awesome. And I think that's for anyone who's looking to get into the market, like take Nico's advice. I will attest to the fact that I was not aware of the additional expenses that go into buying a house, closing costs, all those things. And then I bought a brand new construction home and still like got in here, and there was still work to be done. And there was still additional, from things in the backyard to blue tape items that weren't like, a year down the road. We unfortunately had a couple of issues here, but like we still had to spend money. Like brand new home, we still had to spend money outside of everything that goes into actually just getting the house closed. So I cannot encourage enough to have someone like Nico as part of your team to really get through that process, because I had no idea. I learned throughout that process, and I'm glad I had the money saved. So that's another great piece of advice. Like, understand your finances, know what you need, etc. The last thing, well, two questions, but first, now I knew about the mastermind group, but I wasn't totally sure what it was. Like, how do you manage your time? How do you best effectively manage your time? Because that's all your professional stuff. You have a personal life outside of it. Like, what's your best tip? What's Nico's tip for managing your time if you want to get into doing multiple things, or already are?
No, that's a great question. And to be honest, Contino, it's something that I'm working on myself. When you have a few different balls all over the place, a few different marbles, you want to make sure that you're really staying structured with your schedule. So if you have I've read a book, it was talking about, time blocking. So what I like to do is have a really structured week. And of course, as a realtor, things are going to come up and you adjust. But if you say, hey, for this hour, I'm going to go to the gym. This hour, I'm going to be, making phone calls. This hour, I'm going to do my admin work. This hour, I'm going to eat lunch. This hour. So you really want to, just make sure you're having a schedule, sticking to it as much as you can. And just kind of going at you really have to just assess the last week and go as you go forward. It's easier said than done, and it's something that I'm still working on. But I think if you actually, schedule it ahead of time, it'll definitely help moving forward.
Yeah. And I love the idea of looking back. Okay, how did last week go for me? What do I adjust this week? I think that's really important, that reflection piece. Last piece, first of all, this was awesome. Thank you, Nico. Where can everyone find you? Like, where can we find you? Social media? Where can we find Nico?
Yeah, no, thanks, Contino. And thank you for everyone, for whoever's still watching. Again, my name is Nico Garcia. You can find me on all social media platforms, and Garcia Official, all one word. I'm on LinkedIn, TikTok, everything on social media. Just trying to build a brand out there. Our mobile car detailing business is Garcia Brothers MD. So the word MD, mobile detailing. So if you ever need those services, feel free to reach out to us. And then if you are at all interested about real estate investing, or just curious, and you live near and by Montgomery County, Maryland, the Cash Flow Breakfast Club is a group that I actually just started on the leadership role. So we host monthly masterminds to talk about everything under the sun about real estate investing and financial freedom. It's a conversation that most people don't really know that is possible, but it's a really great group, and we'd love to have you there. So that's Cash Flow Breakfast Club, and then you can look at the Montgomery County chapter and you'll see my bright face on there. So feel free to connect with us there.
Perfect. Well, I appreciate it again, Nico. And thank you for everyone watching. Again, reach out to Nico, follow him, LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook. I promise you it'll be worth your time, all the knowledge he just dropped for us today. That's it. I will see you all in the next one. Peace out.
See you guys.